Hello everyone, this is Daniel with Chef Dan's Hookah. I am coming to you from the kitchen of Nellis Lodge number 46, Free and Accepted Masons. And I am making our dinner tonight. And this isn't a review on that, or on this, which is what I'm smoking, which is Trifecta's Indian Kheer. This is for this beauty right here, the Zomo Kingdom. And there's been a little bit of discussion since I put the pictures out. And I did do a review on that, but it seemed a little redundant, and I can remember watching that video again that there has been a bunch of redundancy, and I didn't even realize I was saying the same thing over and over again. So this is going to be the original for that. I'm going to get rid of that video altogether. Now, what I am, again, smoking is the Trifecta's Indian Kheer, and the setup is water in the white night base, the Zomo Kingdom stem, a generic disposable hose, but this one is a lot more stable and strong and lasts a lot longer. I got it from AA Smoke and Vape and Hookah Shop on Warm Springs and Eastern in Las Vegas here. And the stem, of course, as I mentioned, the Zomo Kingdom stem with the Hookah John 80-foot 80 bowl, using the Provost with foil and 2 CHX flat coals. Now, for those of you who had the Indian Kheer like me, awesome flavor, it's good stuff. But what we're here to talk about is this beauty right here, the Zomo Kingdom stem. As I said, there's been a bit of discussion about it since I put the pictures out this earlier today, I believe. And let's get to the pros first. The pros is that the down stem is removable, so if you have like a small case or a small Egyptian carry bag, you can break the hookah down even further, and it's much easier to carry. It's got this, I believe it's aluminum or stainless steel. I believe it's stainless steel just painted or powder coated. I'm not sure which, but the color is like a dark antique brass, for lack of another descriptive color. This portion right here, the chamber, with this right here, which is the purge port, it reminds me of an old 1950s kind of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea Neptune style kind of diver's helmet, you know, the real brass ones that they used to use in the old Navy. And I really like that touch to it. And if you're into science fiction like me, I'm more into Star Trek. But if you're into Star Wars, you can call this part the Death Star, because that's kind of what it looks like. And right here you got a piece of either stainless steel or aluminum trim in between the two really nice wood pieces here. You got some thinner pieces of the same metal up here, and 3 sections of the same antique brass looking metal up here. It kind of reminds me of the Shanghai Tower, if that's what the name is. And give me 1 second to get rid of that error message. Don't mean to be up in your face. Yeah, I get it. Google Play has stopped working. Stop showing it to me. I got it. And this is just another generic tray that I got for it. And it works well. Not very wide, but I'll get a bigger one in the future. And all in all, it's a real nice looking stem. I mean, there's a couple of scratches that I'm sure happened either during the shipping or packing process, but it doesn't affect the function, so it doesn't really bug me at all. And other than that, I will go to the cons and explain what I had to do to make this work. The positives, again, very nice looking piece, antique brass looking finish, and nice retro kind of space age sort of look. And let's get to the down parts. And this is the part that I don't like to do because I've been told I'm a negative Nancy a lot. So, yeah. The downsides to this. When I received it, there was a small metal fitting on it, which I don't think I brought with me. But, yeah, it's not in here. Oh well. But on top, oh, here it is. I was wrong. This piece here was on top of the bowl port. This is actually the bowl port, but it was glued down. You couldn't unscrew it, so you had to literally pry it off. And the reason I did that is because the biggest grommet that I had, I mean the biggest one, would not fit over this here. And you could put a bowl maybe like a centimeter or two down on it, but there's no grommet to create a seal. So you wouldn't get a really good smoke out of it because you couldn't get a good seal on it, and this was really quite big. So if you can find something like this with a similar diameter on the inside, but thinner up here and a little bit more thin down here, like a Home Depot or something else, and replace that, you should be able to fit a bowl on there with no problem. But I took a page from Sarkis, and on the, I'll explain the hose port a little bit later, but I use that there, and it is a lot more stable and stays in much tighter, so thank you for that advice. I don't have to mess with the grommet anymore, and that's another thing I'm going to get to. So what I did is I popped this off the top where the bowl is, and then that made the that part of the downstem a little too thin to fit a grommet. So you had to find one that's just wide enough to hold the bowl on, but not so wide that it's loose on top of the stem. So you literally have to find like the perfect grommet of thickness so that it, when you put it on or inside the bowl and then down on, it creates a nice seal. It took me 3 or 4 different types of grommets to find the right one, and it's now nice and tight. It works really well. Now on the front here, the purge valve, there's no problem with this. I like that the way it is, and because it gives it a really nice look. And it has all those vent holes on it, kind of makes it look sort of like I mentioned, a Death Star weapon. Inside there is a plastic ball bearing, which just pushes itself out when you purge, like so. Just watch. It's just nice. It looks nice. On the back here, on the other hand, here's like one of the big things that kind of bugs me about this is the horizontal or 90 degree, however you want to say it, the hose port. It just goes straight in. There's no angle to where it will be supported by the hose port for whatever weight of hose you're using. So if you are going to use a lounge hose, the one with the little pom-pom on the end or something like that, make sure it's, if you aren't going to use a paper towel or you are going to use a grommet, whatever you're going to use, is that it's in there nice and tight, because this may move depending on how much your base rumbles or how stable your table or wherever you have it on is, and it will shake itself loose. It'll just fall out just because there's no support either from the bottom or a downward angle, nothing like that. There's just really no support in my opinion unless you push it in there really tight. Now, I cracked my Zara lounge hose just a little bit further. It was already cracked just a little bit, but because of the amount of force I had to use to push it in, just to get it to be tight enough and give a good seal and support itself, it cracked it a little bit more. So that's the downside to that. I took, as you can see, a piece of paper towel here. Another suggestion from Sarkis, thank you very much. And it seems to be pretty stable. I mean, I moved it a couple times just as you saw, and it hasn't fallen out. Now on Christian Pennington, his channel is the Hookah Chef Reviews on YouTube. He is the one, before I even thought about it, saw this piece right here as like a big hunking hose bowl port, and he was absolutely right. So when these become available for sale in the US, unless they trim it down from the suggestions that I and a few others have already given him, or whoever runs the show, it's going to be very, very, very difficult to get a bowl on there. Now, I tried the apple on top bowl, and yes, it's a Chinese copy, but I since stopped using it. This one here is made of pretty much the same material and same design. It just looks like an Egyptian bowl. That, so far, is the only one that I found that will actually go over this and fits down on it. So there's that. The apple on top should fit on there just fine. But again, if you want a good seal, get a grommet kind of like this. I believe this is a Maya grommet, I think, or a Mod grommet, I can't remember which. But you put that in there, and again, too wide. You can't get the, you can't keep that on there and use that. So, but if you did it without it, maybe like as Sarkis suggested, use a paper towel with it instead of a grommet. Goes in there pretty deep and should create a pretty good seal. So apple on top should work without a problem. Or if you have another bowl that has that wide of a gauge on it, you should be able to use that one. But so far, regular sized bowls like Fudge Bowl, the Hookah John bowls, and a few others won't fit on there with this little metal fitting on there. So just pop that off, find the right size grommet, and it should work just fine. Another one of the downsides is that it didn't come with anything except the stem. It didn't come with a hose, it didn't come with a base, didn't come with a bowl or a tray or anything else. So it may change in the future when they sell these in the US, but for now all you're going to get literally and figuratively is just the stem, nothing else. So is the type of base I'm using is the one with the 2-inch opening on top, and it's about 11.5 to 12 inches tall. So a base like that should be just fine. And you can, as I said, use pretty much any hose with it. Just it's kind of difficult to get a good seal and support with the way the hose port is drilled. That angle isn't like just like it should be with other ones. It's not Egyptian style or anything else, but like I said, use a paper towel like Sarkis suggested, or find the right type of grommet and it should fit in there just fine. Other than that, the only thing I can't tell you is how much MSRP would be for one of these. If I could guesstimate, I would start at 100 to 125 US dollars to start, and it could probably only go up from there. But until it comes out, I really can't say much on that. Other than that, it's a good smokable stem as long as you can get the right grommets to make it fit and get a good seal. Other than that, when they're available, I hope modifications are made and that you go buy yourself one. And if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns about it, please comment down below, like, subscribe, tell your friends to watch. And this is going to be going on a trial and review first to Adrian Hunter over at Pipe Dream Hookah YouTube channel. And a few people are going to get to try this out, and I hope you watch the video first, because it'll tell you mostly what I found so far. You may find something similar or different. If and when you get the chance to review this stem at your place, be it known that there's already a couple of small scratches on it. This one was done, I think, in the packing and shipping process, but there's another one I think that was done here by me and I didn't realize, and that's on the wood portion. So do not worry about that, but also at the same time, try not to scratch it any further. Again, any comments, post them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. I've got to get back to making dinner for my brothers here at the lodge, and I hope this review has helped you with some of the questions you have about the stems. Again, any other ones, put them down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. This is Daniel with Chef Dan's Hookah. Have a great day, and of course, happy smoking.